Welcome back, Murdoch. In this episode of Blue Devil Weekly, we'll hear about a new Spirit Week, share some news, wrap up winter sports, get the question of the week, hear about the upcoming weather, and more. Today, March 7th, 2025. Welcome back to Blue Devil Weekly. I'm Tanner Brimhall.
And I'm Bradley Whiteman. To start, Tanner's going to quickly mention some college acceptances from the past week.
Thanks, Brad. Congratulations to Madeline Santos for getting accepted into Salem State, Westfield State, and the University of New Hampshire. She received a $16,000 scholarship for Westfield and a $5,000 scholarship to UNH.
Congratulations! The Down Syndrome Awareness Sock Drive started this past Tuesday. Donate new socks to show your support.
Fourth period classes will compete to see who collects the most new socks to donate.
The class that collects the most socks gets a pizza party, and each member from the winning class gets 1 hour deducted from their community service hours.
A paper bag will be put in every fourth period classroom for collections. The sock drive runs from now to the 28th.
Attention juniors, we need actors for TOP. Practices are being held in room 318, Mr. Robertson's room on the middle school side. Contact Mr. Robertson for more information.
Now it's time for our weekly sports update. We're going to hand it over to Cohen, Avery, and Emma.
Welcome back, Murdoch. We're going to pass it over to Avery for some short announcements.
There is a weightlifting program run by Coach Hargents and Coach Duplessis after school on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Thank you, Avery. Now we're going to pass it over to Emma for her announcement.
Congratulations, Cohen, on your commitment to play Division II golf at Franklin Pierce.
Thank you, Emma. Sign up for spring sports, students, on Arbiter Live. We offer track and field, baseball, and softball. Don't forget. And with that, that's all that we have for this week, Murdoch. We will see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys. Are you looking for volunteer opportunities? Check out the Classwork tab of your class Google Classroom for a list of organizations looking for volunteers. The Gardner Museum is looking for volunteers, and the Winchendon Hub needs volunteers for weekends and some weekdays. The American Legion also needs help with their Tuesday night dinners. On March 19th, there is a half day.
Attention dog lovers. National Puppy Day is March 23rd. Miss Williams is setting up a display in the library in honor of National Puppy Day. If you would like your dog displayed, just email her a photo of your dog and its name, and it will be added to the puppy wall. Or you could just bring Miss Williams a photo and she can add it that way as well.
Save the date. Tournament of Plays is March 28th and 29th at 7 p.m.
It's time to hear about the question of the week. Let's drop it down to Vinny.
This is question of the week, and the question is, if you could be any superhero, who would you be? If you could be any superhero, who would it be?
Silver Surfer. LeBron.
Sam, Spider-Man. Big Time Rush. Kyle, if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah. Avery, who would you be?
Draymond Green.
Christian, if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Tom Cruise.
Junior, you could have any superhero power. Basically, be any superhero. Who would you be?
Dennis.
What about you, Don? Mr. Fredette, you could be any superhero. Who would you choose?
Underdog.
That's a good answer. A-Rod, any superhero. Who would you be?
Barnacle Boy.
Richard, you could be any superhero. Who are you choosing to be? Jake, if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Spider-Man.
Brian, you could be any superhero. Who would you be?
Batman.
Liam, if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Spider-Man.
Zach, if you could be any superhero, who would you be? Spider-Man. Xavier, if you could be any superhero, who would you be? Batman. Brian, if you could be any superhero, who would you be? Merman. Tanner, if you could be any superhero, who would you want to be?
That thing from like Incredibles 2 where it's like an owl and it flies and it shoots lava out of its mouth.
It's a pretty good description. This is my question of the week. Send it to Bradley and Tanner. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Vinny. Next week is Say Something Week. The Sandy Hook Promise Say Something program teaches students to recognize the warning signs of someone at risk of hurting themselves or others and how to say something to a trusted adult to get help.
In honor of Say Something Week, we will be doing small activities during lunch block, and we'll have Spirit Week Monday to Friday.
On Monday, wear your cozy PJs, signifying sleeping on warning signs. If you see something, say something.
Tuesday is Twin Day, because no one is ever alone. Show unity.
Wednesday, dress like a teacher. Who are your trusted adults?
Thursday is Tie-Dye Day. Keep the peace.
And then on Friday, it's Superhero Day. When you see something and say something, you can save someone and be a hero.
It's very nice. Now, it's time to toss it over to weather.
Hey guys, welcome back to another forecast for the week ahead. Today is going to be partly cloudy and windy with a high of 38 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. During the weekend, it is going to be partly cloudy and windy on Saturday and will be mostly sunny on Sunday. Saturday will have a high of 34 degrees and a low of 19 degrees, and Sunday will have a high of 38 degrees and a low of 27 degrees. This weekend will also be daylight saving time, and it will happen on Sunday at 2 a.m. Make sure to move your clocks forward an hour. At the beginning of the week, it will be cloudy with a chance of some flurries and snow showers during the day, with a high of 44 degrees and a low of 29 degrees. On Tuesday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 57 degrees and a low of 37 degrees. That's all I have for you this week. I'm going to toss it back to Brad and Tanner at the desk.
Thank you, Wiley. That's all we have for this episode. Make sure to stay caught up by following us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at MurdochHS.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. With that, we will see you all next week. Have an amazing weekend.